Hi guys, today I'm going to be reviewing and showing you how to play the game Lords of Vaala Dragonbond. Now in this game you can choose to be either a dragon or a general of armies, and the object of the game is you're going to be trying to score 10 power tokens, unless you have formed an alliance. In that case, it's going to be 15 power tokens. So, let's check it out. So to begin, I'm going to go ahead and go over each of the characters' player boards over here, just to show you where everything is and what it's all about. You've got two dragons in the game. You got Magnavix and Fulgen, and then you also have two armies. One run by the General Illyria, and then another one run by the General Tiberia. Right over here, this is where you're going to be storing your power tokens, and the object of the game is you're going to try to get 10 power tokens. Now, as the game progresses, you might end up getting dragon bonded with an army, and essentially what that means is the dragon and the army are going to join forces together, and if that happens, then the goal is going to be to try to get 15 of these power tokens. One of the characters is going to have 10 power, and the other one is going to have 5 power. Anytime you collect a power token, you're just simply going to go ahead and put it on the board like so. In the game, you'll also be able to spend power tokens. You're mainly going to be spending them to use the Vaala cards and other things, but you can spend them just simply by turning them over. Now, spending them is not going to deduct from your goal in collecting the power tokens. Right over here are what are called glyphs, and each of the characters are going to have 4 glyphs. The dragons are going to have Wrath, Horde, Soar, and then the Vaala, which are going to be these cards. And then the armies are going to have Assault, Harvest, Deploy, and also Vaala, which are going to be these Vaala cards over here. Each character is going to be receiving a little deck of cards over here, and they're going to have these symbols on them. You'll see a symbol here, and you'll see 2 symbols over here. These are going to represent these glyphs over here. So anytime you play one of these cards, you're simply going to go over to your player board, find that symbol, and then simply do what it says. If you end up playing a card that has 2 of these symbols on there, you're simply going to resolve it from top to bottom. This card has a symbol with a Vaala card on it, and what you're going to do with that is it says you may play a Vaala card from your hand by paying its cost, or you can draw the top card Vaala deck into your hand. So in this case, you would just go ahead and draw this card, and this card will simply give you an action that you can do, and you're going to go ahead and add this to your hand of cards. Now you've got an assortment of battle dice here, and for the dragons, they're going to be rolling the amount that is shown. Now, as they're taking hits, they're going to end up taking wounds. So let's say the dragon ended up getting hit. He'll take a wound here. He gets hit again. He'll take a wound here. And each time, he's going to have to roll the next amount of dice that is showing. Now, if all of the wound spaces ended up getting covered over, that is going to force a retreat. And the dragon is then going to have to rest and recover. In order to rest and recover, he's going to have to go ahead and cancel out one of his cards' glyphs, and that will remove 2 tokens each time he does that. A dragon will be forced to retreat if he ends up taking a wound while he is fully wounded, and a general will be forced to retreat if he has lost all of his units and he ends up taking a hit himself. In this case, the winner will be able to steal a power token from the enemy. And also over here is where dragons can store up any army units that they have defeated. Anytime they defeat an army unit, they're just simply going to go ahead and put them on the board like this. And anytime they reach 3 of them, you're going to go ahead and gain a power token. And you'll just go ahead and put it on the board like so. Now for the armies, they're going to have archers, you'll have infantry, and then you'll have cavalry. The armies are going to be able to upgrade their units by playing what are called a denizen card, and these are the cards that are going to have the upgrades on them. And here's an example one. This one says, gain +2 combat value and ignore critical hits in each region containing one of these creatures over here. And what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and just select which one it's going to affect. This one over here is going to be the infantry. So in this case, it's going to go ahead and give that infantry that special power. So that's a look at the boards. Let's go ahead and take a look at how the game works. Okay, so here's the board, all the character boards. These are the denizen cards. And then right here are all of the tokens that you're going to be using. And I'm going to just be explaining this as I go along. I'm going to basically take you through one round of this game. Now in the game, there's 3 phases. There's the planning phase, the resolution phase, and the cleanup phase. So right here, you've got 2 of the dragons. These are very nice figures, by the way, and they're each going to be starting in a region. And the armies are going to be receiving 3 units along with the region card of the area that they're in. Now, any areas that the armies end up taking over, they're going to be receiving a region card that they're going to be able to use during the planning phase. Now, when you play a region card, you're going to be receiving 3 actions that you will be able to do, and these are the actions. This is where you'll be able to upgrade your units, where you'll be able to reinforce a region, and also where you'll be able to add a city. Right over here, these are neutral armies. You will be fighting them. However, if you need to retreat to them, they are neutral, so they're not going to attack you. These over here are what are called city tokens. You're going to be using these city tokens as part of resolving these different glyphs over here. This is going to be in the fortify. And what this is going to do is this is going to help the defense of the armies. If they end up getting attacked and they have a city in their army, they're going to be able to ignore one of the hits. These are the event cards. You're going to be using this in the planning phase. You're going to put one in the very beginning and one in the very end. And essentially what they're going to do is you're just simply going to read what it says and just follow through on what it says. And then here are the rest of the region cards over here. Also right now, when you set the game up, you're going to have Dragon Army, Dragon Army. Right now I've got these two are going to be regular human players, and I've got these up on the other side. These are going to be what are called faceless players, meaning that there are no humans running these boards. The game is going to control them. So they're not going to have any Vaala cards. However, they are going to have a Vaala power that they can use. And essentially what you're going to do is you're just going to flip the top card over in the planning phase. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and look at the cards that are in your hand, and you go ahead and select one. Now the first thing you're going to do is you're going to draw an event card, and you're going to lay this down first. So let's take a look, and let's just say I decide I'm going to go ahead and play the Soar card over here. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this face down, and then player 2 is going to go ahead and go. Player 2 is going to go ahead and look at his cards. I'll go ahead and choose the Assault for him, and then I'm going to place this face down like so. The two faceless ones are just simply going to draw the top card, and they're going to go ahead and place them on the deck, and then it's going to go back to me. Now what I can do is I can just simply pass, and if I decide to pass, I'm going to get what is called the initiative token, and this is what it is. What this simply means is that on the next round, I'm going to go ahead and start the play. Let's go ahead and do an Arcane Horde. I'll go ahead and do that. Ilaria is going to go ahead and choose his region card, so he'll place this here, and then we'll go ahead and place both of these cards once again. So let's just say that this ends the planning phase. So I'm going to put another event card over here on the top, and now we're going to go to the resolution phase. Now the resolution phase is where we will be able to play any of the Vaala cards that we have collected. None of us have any right now, so I'm going to go ahead and just take these cards. We're going to flip them over, and then we're going to go ahead and resolve them one at a time. So the first thing is the event card. This one says place 2 power tokens in Upper Parmillion and then in South Teveria. And we'll go ahead and put one over here. This is the upper. And South Teveria is going to be over here. Now in the game we're going to have what are called focus regions. Focus regions are going to be the regions that have the most amount of tokens. If there's one region that has more than any other, that'll be the focus region. Otherwise, if they're tied, it's going to be the one that is closest to wherever the units are. So now we're going to go ahead and start. So this was the first card I played. This was Soar. And so I'm going to look at my glyph over here, and this simply says move to an adjacent region or one connected to the sea with your current region. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and move over here. Let's just say I move here, and that will be my turn. We go to Ilaria, and he has chosen the Assault. So right now, let's just say I decide I'm going to choose this region over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and move all of them over here. And then it says to initiate combat in the chosen region. Now, if there happened to be a city token in there, the defending army would ignore a hit from the attackers. If I have had to cross a mountain, these are the mountain symbols, then whoever I am attacking is going to be able to ignore one hit. I'm going to be able to roll 1, 2, 3 dice. I have a general here that'll make 4 dice, and I also have what is called a balanced army, meaning I have the archers, the infantry, and the cavalry here. So that's going to be 5 dice that I'm going to go ahead and roll. These are going to be critical hits. These are going to be administered immediately. These are standard hits. These are going to be administered if the defender decides to try to attack me. He can always retreat, and if he does, then he's not going to take these. And so right here, I've got a critical hit already, 3 critical hits actually. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go ahead and take this off since I have defeated him. I will then take the region card into my hand. So now we're going to go and see what Fulgen's got. He has got a Soar, so I'll move him right here. Teveria, he has what is called the Deploy. I'm going to go and put 2 units in his region since all the other regions surrounding him are controlled. So now we're going to go back to me, and this was my second round. I'm going to go ahead and do what's called a Horde. So hoarding is collective power from your region. So here I have one right here. It is controlled by here, so I'm not going to be able to do that. Heal a wound. I have not been wounded yet, and so that's going to be the end of my turn. Now I also have this where I'll be able to draw a Vaala card. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this and put it in my hand. Now we go to Ilaria. He has played his regions card, so now we're going to go here. It says a general in control may choose a denizen card from the lineup whose homeland matches this region, or if they spend 1 power, an adjacent region. So I'm at Feywoods right now, and so here is a Feywoods card that it happens to be in this selection over here. So I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to go ahead and place it right over here. Now we're going to go to Reinforce. It says if it's neutral uncontrolled, which it is Neither, it says place 2 neutral units. If it's controlled, the controlling general places a unit of their choice in the region and any adjacent regions they control. So he's just simply going to place it there. And then I'm going to go ahead and place a city in this region. So just a couple other things. If you're in a battle and a general ends up deciding to retreat, he's going to have to retreat either to an uncontrolled region, a region controlled by a neutral force, or a region that is controlled by his force, or a region that happens to have a dragon in it that he can Dragonbond to. If he can't do that, then he's going to lose and the game is going to end and everyone will count up their points. The same works with a dragon. Now, in order to do a Dragonbond, what you're going to do is, let's just say these 2 units happen to be in the same area over here. They can try to do a Dragonbond. What you're going to do is you're going to roll the dice, and each person's going to try to roll a hit. If each person has rolled a hit, that is going to signal a Dragonbond. So anyway, this is just an idea of how the game works. The game is going to continue on, and it can end in a number of ways. The first way it can end is if one player gets 10 power, if a Dragonbonded team gets 15 power. If the event deck ends up becoming empty at the end of the round, you'll count your collected power tokens, or if a player is eliminated, the eliminated player and their Dragonbonded ally, if they have one, won't win. The remaining player with the most power tokens will win, along with their ally if they have one. Well, first of all, the components in this game are fantastic. The board looks really good. I really like the fact that you can choose from the parchment side or the colored side. I know that people typically have preferences with these types of fantasy games, so it's good to have that in there. The sculpted miniatures look great. I love the sculpted miniatures. Really nice components. Now, the version that I have is still in a Kickstarter stage, so they're going to be having miniatures with the generals and with the armies and stuff like that, so it's going to be an upgraded version to the version that I have. But this game is a really good game. First of all, it's not a difficult game to learn. It's like once you've played it for 10 minutes, you're going to kind of understand the order. You definitely have a lot of different choices, things that you can do when trying to get these power tokens. You can also spend the power tokens to try to activate different cards. Of course, you've got your glyphs on your cards, and then you have the glyphs on the board for any of the regions that you end up controlling. Thing is that you can also lose the region cards to somebody else, but you're not going to end up losing the denizen cards. And there's a bunch of different cards that have different powers on them as well. And a lot of it really is you just don't know what card your opponent's going to play. So you could be planning something, but it can get thwarted just depending on what card your opponent plays. You may end up in a battle that you don't even know that you're going to be in. You're trying to figure out where you want to go, what you want to do, and then all of the different options that you have, especially with the Vaala cards. Playing those cards can really change up the game too. So there's a lot of different elements going on in the game at the same time that makes this game really good. It's a solid game. I would definitely recommend anybody who likes fantasy games, especially anybody who likes games with dragons and battles and things like that. This game has a lot of different elements in it, and I think they work really well together. All right, guys, that's my review of Lords of Vaala Dragonbond. We'll catch you later. Keep on gaming.